Axis was, which axis was the x-axis?
The one going down.
Yeah, this one. And then the y was this guy, and then z. So we didn't really talk about this last time. It's going to come up a little bit. But there is a negative x-axis, and it would be going back like this way. So kind of like into the next, like if you look at this as the corner of a room, it'd be going back into the next room. And their negative y-axis would be this way. The negative z-axis would be this way. Like below ground. Alright, you guys see it? Okay, so today we're talking about the equations of planes. And the equation of a plane on a 3D axis would look something like this. And to draw it, we're just going to be figuring out what are the x, y, z intercepts. And then kind of use that to help us draw. So what would the x-intercept be? Well, the x-intercept's going to be somewhere on this line, right? Where the plane hits this line. So you guys know what the coordinates of this point would be? 4, 0, 0, exactly. So what's unique about an x-intercept is that the y and z values are always 0. And same thing for the y-intercept. What's unique about the y-intercept is that the x and z values are 0. So we can find the x-intercept by just making the y and z values 0 over here. So that kind of makes them go away. And then we're just left with 2x equals 12. So what's the x-intercept going to be? 6. So 6, 0, 0. I'll just put a point on that. There it is, 6, 0, 0. And then what would the y-intercept be? If I plug in 0 there and there, I'm left with 2y equals 12. So 4. So 0, 4, 0 would be the y-intercept. And then for z, what would that be? Negative 3. I think this happens once on the days, if I remember right. So negative 3 would be down 3. Kind of like below ground. And then the plane that covers all three of these points would be the solution. How are we going to draw it? Now, it actually works a lot better with a pencil than it does like this, which can't really do shading very well. But it's kind of coming out at us, so it doesn't look very thick. But remember, planes go like infinitely, and then we're just going to like lightly shade in this region. This picture doesn't work very well because it's kind of like this coming at us, so we can't hardly see it very well. And planes are infinite, but you can't really draw something infinite, so we just kind of draw that part of it. Okie doke. That's kind of the main gist. That'll get us going anyway. Olivia, you probably haven't done this assignment yet with the 3, so this might be a little bit confusing. Was this Wednesday's assignment we did there? Okay, it's the one we just graded. Okay, so on number 1, we're going to sketch the plane. It's very similar to what I just drew. So we're just going to make like the corner of the room thing. I'm kind of hungry. Okay, and I have a feeling you're kind of always hungry.
I used to have a 6.
No, you have like a 5S, right?
No.
And yet you tease Olivia about always eating.
What?
Not saying that she does not, but she's kind of
Okay, 2x plus 3y plus 6z. So these will all be positive. Because they're all positive values. So what's my x value going to be? 6, kind of like the last one. 2x should equal 12, so that'll be 6, 0, 0. That'll be down here. Okay, the y value, 3y, that's ugly, 3y equals 12. So the y value will be 4. The y-intercept will be 4, 0, 4, 0. And the z value, 6z equals 12. So divide by 6. And we get 2. Put a pretty little dot right there. Connect the dots. Here's the pros at connecting the dots. Okay, and this is where having a pencil actually is preferable. But we're just going to lightly shade in that plane. This one is a lot easier to visualize than the one my example I made up.
Never gets this test.
I don't think I've even taken a test in this class yet.
He gave us the paper that was in the test.
Where did we?
Olivia, did you see your test in here?
Yeah.
We only tested. Okay.
It's in the box, but
We do have that.
This year?
well, if we weren't gone last week, we probably would have had a test on Friday. Because I'm not doing like the last 3 lessons in this chapter, so now it's probably gonna be Tuesday. I'm kind of planning for us to be gone on Wednesday.
So the test is tomorrow?
No, next Wednesday.
Oh.
You're not done with the chapter yet. Okay, 5x minus, okay, this one has a minus, so this will have a negative. 5x minus 2y plus 2 is equal to 10. All right, so for my x values, I guess I'll go ahead and put these in here real quick. Looks like I won't need to go past 5. Okay, so for my x values, 5x equals 10. So that means the x value is at 2. For my y values, negative 2y equals 10. So y is negative 5. Okay, which means I need a negative y-axis. So this is the positive y-axis, so the negative y-axis goes this way. This is like one room, this is like the next room over. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then the z value, 2z equals 10, so z is 5. There. I guess I have a highlighter. It probably wouldn't look very good though. Where is my highlighter? Ooh.
So she shows up unannounced, right? She sings the
English
song.
teachers just have like synchronization.
Like your mother sings.
Yeah, she showed up and she's like, she rehearsed
Like
the
the same
songs.
person.
Right?
How did it go? My grandma had like so.
I don't know if like.
That's so
Do you
embarrassing.
think Mrs.
You will
Williams
never
like that
ever
when she was
catch
our English
me.
teacher?
Ah.
No.
Your
She was
mom
like,
has
chill.
like the weirdest.
She said she went to a psychologist who helped her think of it, bro.
I don't think like
Who
there
goes
was
to a
one time
psychologist,
when
first of
Paxton
all?
like did like those like stupid
A
things
lot
like
of
that.
psychologists
Like,
ever
everyone-
have, bro. You should sing or
Like Clash of Clans.
Take your
one,
mother.
you know?
She'll take you back.
Yeah, that was fun.
Alright,
Do you remember when you were in my
it's a work of art.
Or no, it wasn't
Well,
you.
I
she's
definitely
pretending
want.
if this didn't happen.
Because we had to write essays.
Like the singing or
I would just, ooh, bro.
she just
Just singing.
she drove all the way down to Colorado.
Oh, didn't like was it Clayton or Lennox that got in trouble for like writing love stories?
Yeah.
With like, no, that was Lisa, I think, or Skylar.
Your grandma is
Okay.
not
Yeah, I thought it was Clayton, but I think he did it.
Yeah.
I think he did it like one of them.
We got in trouble for that Google Doc, that English time waster.
Oh,
That was the day I was sick.
That was the day I was sick.
Yeah.
See, I was like sick, but like I got in trouble the day
I
after.
totally remember that too.
What's
That's
gonna
the
get
funny
in
thing.
trouble for?
'Cause ours were
Whenever we were all writing
I hadn't
for
done
one of our, like,
Yeah, I didn't do anything. I was just added me to it.
Exactly.
on the software.
Okay, so on number 5 and 6 is kind of like it. We're supposed to graph z equals 2. So where are all those z values equal to 2 at? Well, here's 2 on the z-axis, but really all of the z values on this plane, like right there, will be 2. So it's a plane that's kind of flat. Now, how are we going to draw that? They kind of, a good picture for it is on the top of page 453.
Oh,
And they got z equals 2, they got y equals 3, they got y equals
that
x.
is weird looking.
So anyway, the way we draw a plane is kind of make a,
Weird barrier.
Why do you make it so big?
kind of make like a horizontal, like a parallelogram.
Look
Looking
at making
thing.
a horse direction.
What? That's right. Not this.
Oh, yeah.
That's probably about as good as I can do. I guess we could shade it again.
Yeah. Can you never tell you? Yeah. Don't you say? You don't you say? Don't you say? Leprechaun. Just do every day.
I'm sure you
I
could use
keep getting that weird
something to be desired.
You know,
girl
looks
with like,
that.
is her name's like
Farm
Maddie or
tree.
something, and she has a girlfriend?
Or they-
Yeah, and with the ugly hair.
Like Maddie.
I don't think they like each other.
I think that, I don't know, I got this, it was weird. Like, she, like, like, it is so weird.
Okay, number 7.
Why did myself up?
Alright, Issa. Let E be 461 be a vertex of the rectangular box shown. Find a Cartesian equation of each plane. Okay, so on 5 we kind of drew one of these equations. On 7 we have to kind of write the equation itself. So here, let me go back to this. So do you guys see plane DEFG in the picture?
Yes.
Okay, what would the equation for that plane be? It's very similar to the one we just drew, right? Because it's a horizontal plane cutting through the z-axis. Where is it going to cut through the z-axis at? 1. How did I know it was 1? Because 461. 1 is the z coordinate. It tells you kind of how high that point is. So the equation for that point would just be, or that plane would just be z equals 1. Okay, so B, plane ABED, plane ABED. You guys see that plane?
Yep.
Which axis is it cutting through? The x-axis. Okay, it's a vertical plane, kind of like this, facing us, and it's cutting through the x-axis. So it should have all the same x values. What would the x values for that plane be? 4, because that's the x coordinate. So the equation is just called x equals 4. There you go. Let's see over here. Okay, on C, let's see. Oh, shoot.
What?
No, that's right. C, plane BCFE. So on the right there, it's cutting through the y-axis. So it should have all the same y values of 6. Y1. And plane OADG. This one's a little trickier. You guys know what plane OADG would be?
-1. D, 0.
What is 0?
The origin.
401.
Okay, does plane OEDG look more like plane A, the plane from A, B, or C?
Oh, C.
Looks more like C, because it's like it's a plane that's coming at us, so it should have all the same y values, just like C does. So it would be called y equals 0.
Oh, yay! Now we do the next one. Like, are you happy? That's all. Do they call you the happy man? Okay, that makes sense.
Bro, next problem's really easy. Because you just,
Yeah.
Yeah, you just like copy and paste. That's what I did. Repeat exercise stuff.
all you gotta do is just put it in,
Dear
just like how
Thomas,
the cheese.
I'm sorry.
Just like how now they done ordered the execution.
Did you watch the Super
All
Bowl?
this other construction.
You have to speak. Did you watch the Super Bowl?
No, no. Too painful.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Really? That sucks. Yeah. Because they got kind of smacked.
I'm basically.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. I guess I'll just have to settle for 3 Super Bowls in the past 5 years instead of 4.
You're a lot more successful than pretty much any other thing.
Okay, this next section is kind of easy.
Easier.
It's easy. Find a vector perpendicular to plane whose equation is given. It turns out that the vector that's perpendicular to this plane on number 9 would just be 3, 4, 6 vector.
What?
So it just kind of uses the coefficients for x, y, and z.
That doesn't sound too bad.
Okay, it's because you just write out the numbers.
Okay, so 11 though just has x plus y equals 4. So it almost looks like a 2-dimensional equation, but what vector would go through that? 1, 1, 0. Hope cracked the code. Since they didn't have a z, it's like the z coordinate is 0, the z coefficient rather is 0. So 1, 1, 0, because there's no z. 13, even smaller. Z equals 1. So what's that one going to be? 0, 0, 1. So if you think about it, like z equals 1 is kind of like this vector, like z, this is z equals 2. And a 0, 0, 1 vector just would go straight up. So anyway, they would be perpendicular to each other. It just works, okay? Number 15.
But what number 14? Would that be 0, 1, 0?
Yes. Okay, 15, so they're giving us the perpendicular vector, and we're supposed to write the plane. This is pretty easy too. So the vector is 2, 3, 5, so we're just going to do 2x plus 3y plus 5z equals, well, how do we know what it equals? They give us another piece of information, and that is that point A, 317, is on this vector. Okay, if 317 is on the vector, is on the plane, that means if I plug 317 in for x, y, and z, that should work in this equation, so that'll tell us what should go right here. So 2 times 3 plus 3 times 1. Somebody leaving? No, but nobody knows.
I only
That's what my
leave.
dad was wanting.
No, my time is later. As in 2 o'clock.
Hello? Yeah.
Forty what?
This is the
Yeah.
this is the Sigma
Oh,
class. You have to look at the office.
You are going me.
Go down there, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it in my head, like, going math ways.
I can
6 plus
look.
3,
She
that's 9.
probably did.
9 plus 35.
Dude, Mrs. Wick still hasn't graded my quiz. Because I've never gotten a quiz.
Actually,
Yeah.
Yeah, I got it.
it's a sad day for Grunting Girls.
No, this is actually good because I'm not graded.
All my answers on the concept, like the actual in different pen color. So she kind of like,
I saw
she
it.
found it off like so much. I was like,
Okay,
what are these
yeah.
called? She was like, I wrote a different color.
Check
I was like,
It was
what?
6 days.
And she was like, oh.
Yeah, I wrote a different like pen and pencil like during when I wrote mine too.
If I didn't,
Oh,
she didn't count all the pencils left by 10
And we're gonna have
words.
to stay later.
I was like, these are right.
Oh, this terrible grade is reminding me of what I'm about to get in Bible.
Okay. All right. 1 times 3 is 3. 7 times 5 is 35. Add all those together, we get 44. That's the final one. Okay, 17. Pretty similar. The vector is 0, 0, 1 though. So what are we going to do with a 0 and a 0? That'd be 0x plus 0y plus 1z, so just z equals. And then the point that is on the plane is 1, 4, 5. So right, basically the z value is 5, so 5 goes right there. So that's it, just z equals 5.
This spreadsheet's really easy. Never had it. What do you see that?
Just jinxed us.